Hiero Music exclusive.
I grew up like a savage.
Y'all were never chasing nothing. Wasn't nothing trendy. It was like, this shit is pure. Like, this shit real hip hop. Like, when you think about it, like, this is what it come from. Like, we make the money second. Like, we don't go in this shit like, let's sell ourselves out real quick and do everything everybody doing.
It's never really been possible though for Bay artists. Like Hammer hit it big with one song really that then made him a household name.
Right.
And Short, you know what I'm saying, just because he's been steady.
Right.
40 just because he's been steady. Now they have breakout hits every now and then, but if you look at 40's subject matter from his first record to right now, same subject matter, just bigger and better. Same with Show. You look at him first album to now, same subject matter, just bigger and better. But we've never really had that option where we go like, oh, I just dropped this in the radio for
Right.
you. You know, like unfortunately, our radio out here doesn't lead on anything either.
Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
So and it really never has, unfortunately. And
Never.
that's no diss to the personalities because y'all are inside of a system.
Exactly.
But so we've never had that option. So it ain't even been tempting.
Well, the biggest thing that I have a problem with is in the Bay Area is not changing, like not evolving, right? And like people staying in certain positions. Like the natural evolution would be with Short, with you guys, y'all all signed artists, whether people even 40, whether they was great at it or not, they tried, right? My thing is with radio and media and all of that stuff, we don't, and even A&Rs, managers, we don't bring people up. That shit just doesn't exist.
Or we bring them up and then sell it to somebody. You know, like Destiny's Child came up under Dwayne Wiggins. You know what I mean? Like we bring it up and then somebody looks at it and says, "I'll take that." Y'all don't know what to do with it. But really, we don't like. First of all, we don't got a lot of black people in the Bay, man.
We don't.
We used to, but we don't. We don't got. There's not a lot of black people in California. I think we're, what is it, 6% of this entire state.
Yeah, it's
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
down
Most black
now.
people are in the South.
Yeah.
You know, just period. Or in Chicago and certain
So our
places.
chilling
Detroit.
circuit don't exist.
Yeah.
Hence, we have Washington, Spokane, Washington, Seattle, KC. I'm talking about for our local rappers.
For the local rappers, yeah.
That's
They got-
where they
they
go.
got
That's
6 or
their
7
route.
spots.
Yeah,
But
Kent Washington playing up there.
It's not really still black. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
What
you
is
know,
it? Rob
and I
Ross.
think Stalin has mastered that, right? He
look at
mastered
Stalin.
who
He
his
does his thing.
fans are.
Yeah.
Like Stalin is a good example
I
of.
think all rappers from here have done that, though.
Yeah,
Look at Shoulder,
yeah,
anybody. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying, though? It's like
Had to.
we're fortunate that we have an international appeal, so we can do all 50 states, Canada, South America, Asia, Europe, right? But it's all like Fillmore-size venues.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If we do a stadium, it's with a festival like a Hiero Day or something like
Yeah.
that. But normally it's like the Fillmore, you know what I'm saying, though, that 2,000, 2,500 range. Chicago would be, what's the... there's a big theater out
Lollapalooza.
there.
I mean,
we'll do
Lollapalooza, a big
but
festival.
There's another theater, I don't know, Commodore, some theater. It's like an old school.
Yeah, I
theater.
know.
Chicago Theater? Is that what?
No, it's not. I know which venue he's talking about on the north
State
side.
theater. I don't know.
He's talking about. It's like our famous venue too. I'm just
we
tripping
just
right
did
now.
that. Or we'll do.
It's like a House of Blues, but
Your
it's ours.
cousin's looking
Or
at
we
this
do
right
House of
now
Blues.
like,
Yeah, I mean, we do have a House of Blues, but
Yeah.
we have a venue right by where the Cubs play at. It's
Yeah.
like our big
It's right
venue.
there.
It's right
It's
there.
right
I just
there.
can't think
Yeah.
of the name, bro. I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, even speaking of putting on and helping people out, and let's talk about you producing the Prince Ali era.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is the Oscar award-winning Mahershala Ali. What was that like?
Man, he's ill. Like he's ill. Like
As a rapper.
like a Ghostface rap. You know what I'm saying? And it's like he's a raw ass hooper. He's a smart
St.
dude.
Mary's.
You know, he went to Mary, played for Mary's. Smart dude and an ill ass rapper. But when we put him out, he was like, I got these opportunities in Hollywood, and we had him as our opener. You know what I mean? Like, we can only put you on a Hiero tour. Like, there's we don't have these industry hookups. We do our own tours. So he was
Did
like,
you know he had that in him already? Like
the acting? Hell no. But I'm saying he obviously made the right decision in pursuing that because now he could put out a rap album today, might go platinum.
Go platinum.
Because he's raw like that. Like he's not like he's like a Planet Asia, Ghostface, Black Thought type rapper. Like he can really rap. Like he's just as good at that as he is at acting.
I went over some of his shit, like just you know, in doing research with for you, and I was like, damn, I would never know. I had no idea
that he got down like that.
Man,
right?
I
Yeah.
had no fucking
Yeah.
idea.
That's wild.
It blew my mind. Like
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, like he's just as good as a rapper as he is a fucking actor.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like, and he was a good ass ball
Yeah,
player.
D1
Like
baller
he
or
wasn't no
whatever,
scrub.
yeah.
Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He was a good ball player. But in doing those type of things, is that all what you were speaking about just a second ago as far as like passion? Like
Passion projects, and if we don't put on, you know what I'm saying? Like I just bought a bunch of equipment for us to start doing pop-up parties. Like, you know, like Hiero Day. Like if you look at the Hiero Day lineup, we got, 10 or 12 national stars. Everybody else is locals, or you know what I'm saying? Like if we don't put on that's culture. You know what I'm saying though? And if we don't put and create the that word is thrown around or whatever, but if we don't use our particular brand, then we're not doing nothing different than what's that, Live Nation or any of that. They're like,
Right.
what are the niggas listening to?
Right,
Throw them on stage.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying though? Like
That's
we
real.
got to be like,
For real,
okay,
though.
we're putting these people on because they are part of our culture, the cultural fabric that's here, and we want to expose you to them the same way you hear about a Keisha Cole or a G-Rap
Right,
or something
right.
like that. So we always trying to,
Hiero Day
have
is
national
like
stage.
one of the most eccentric festivals and lineups ever. Like you just never know.
Yeah,
That's what
I
Hiero Day
like-
is.
I like that
You
aspect of
never
it.
know. Like
Yeah.
it's no telling who. And I think it's a testament to who you guys are because y'all done been on shows with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that-
like you
yeah.
know what I'm saying. It's like it's no category for you for real. Like
Yeah.
like Casual is the most lyrical gangster rapper I ever like.
But
like,
they're the type of group that's, people who are high in the industry, they're their favorite artists. Like
Everybody.
Casual is loved by so many
He was
MCs
Biggie-
and
one of
folks.
Biggie's favorite
He's like the West Coast respected like of a Cool G rap. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Because of like that type of thing where he has those boss bars. He was saucy. Everybody knows that he really about his craft. So
I thought he was a bully when I was little though. In my mind, I was like, this nigga tough, man.
He
Like,
was tough. He was a bully, but not to our community.
yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know. I was like,
Casual was a strong arm nigga,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
But it wasn't, that
It wasn't our
in the town. He
community,
would go
yeah. He
outside.
still
the
had a
town.
conscience, huh?
Yeah. That's funny. That's
no,
funny. But he's
I
just a
knew
stern
about him
face.
in high
Yeah.
school, man, in Chicago. I knew about Casual. I knew about Souls of Mischief and Dale in high school in Chicago, right? Our favorite artist from Oakland was Too Short, though. Too Short was so huge in Chicago, we probably fucked with him, honestly, tougher than y'all.
But
we
Chicago
love Too Short.
Chicago is a black city, though.
It's a
too.
black city.
But I'm talking about my mom fucked with Too
Right.
Short, right? Like, would buy his vinyls and all of that shit.
but
and the
Short
first
talk
rap,
that shit because Chicago people talk that shit too. You know,
Exactly.
you got the Poe Pimp and you got the Do or Die.
Exactly.
Like that's Chicago lingo.
Chicago and Detroit.
That's they shit. Chicago and Detroit, and we
Yeah.
all like
Yeah.
cousins.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you too though about your time with Zion. Rest in peace, Zumbi. Like how was that?
I mean, it was phenomenal. Like the thing with Steve, I used to always go to the shows and just support him. And over time, in 2015, Anthony left the group. He wanted to go do another project with Unified Highway or whatever. And so Steve was like, damn, who am I going to get to DJ for me and tour on the road? And he just hit me up. He calls me up one day and he's like, bro, I need you to be my DJ full time. And I'm sitting around. I mean, we've done hella shit together as far as like, I might have like subbed for Anthony years back or something like that when he couldn't make a show or like, recording records or something like with them, but nothing where I was like full time. So it's like, I had just gotten back. I would do things where I would go out with an artist for a while. Like I've been out with Bun before. I've been out with other artists before on the road. But nothing consistent where I had a real group that I was behind. And I was recording everybody's stuff. I go out with Fab a lot here and there and all of that, but he was like, yo, I need you full time. And he's like the first person or first artist that really like gave me a whole income, right? Like I would make 50 grand, 60 grand a year off just doing Zion shows and like being out consistently. And he took me places that I would have never got to experience, never got to go. Places like Montana, we get there and the venue got goats and rams and shit up on the stage and you're like, we playing here? He's like, let's get to it. And we laugh about it every night. And it would be us. And like, he taught me a lot of things, like a lot of spiritual stuff, get up in the morning, do calisthenics, push-ups and all of that. And like, I was like, I feel like I was kind of a mission for him, man, because like I was wild. Even in back then, 7 years ago, I was still kind of on some wild shit, and you know, he just wanted to. I feel like he was always someone who was looking out, and I was talking on the phone with his mom, Carolyn. I was talking with her the day before yesterday. We're planning this big old tribute for him at Hiero Day. So if folks are going to come out to Hiero Day, there will be a tribute for Steve that's going down. His family's coming out, all those different things for it. But what I was really saying is this. Till this day, I'm still being blessed by Steve, meaning that he's been dead a year now, and there's still people, because of our relationship, like, he's the only, I got some equipment donated for the studio out in Tropical Sounds out in Panama, but it came through, you know, shout out Bryson, someone that I met through Steve and that I really got close with, and because of Steve and all of that, he connected. This is my man, this is my DJ, and he did that across the world. So I got people in Toronto that want to bring me out, and I'm doing a show with this cat up in Canada that came through Steve, that like, is a relationship that I found through him, and the only reason why I have it. And people still to this day, they get at me for business and all of that, have me produce, work with them, that came through Steve. So he was a different level of light. He never hated. If it got to a point, you know, you get into it with your brother sometimes, right?
Right.
So if you get into something with confrontation, he was older than me. He was so mature. He would just be like, all right, that's cool, man. We're going to do it this way. I'm not trying to, you a loyal dude. It's like, we ain't going to get in no petty shit over no money. Some shit happened once on the road where it's like this promoter had us out there, and it wasn't the business. This rap shit. It happens, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. So we was like, dude, we can't be out here. And, you know, we went home. We understood that, you know, like, the money ain't right, you're going to take your ass home. But through the thick and thin of it, we remained great friends. I was fortunately able to be the last producer to produce a full Zion album. So I did produce the full Zion album. We have a 12-track album that's the last Zion album produced by me. It's also featuring Deuce Eclipse, which is Steve's longtime best friend. You know, started out Martinez with them high school era, you know what I mean? Deuce been around doing this thing for a very long time, and Steve was like, really need to have him involved with this. And what was really crazy is he sent in the last verse to the album 1 week prior to his death, right? Damn. So it was some shit like this. Like, literally, I was packing up my shit to go to L.A., and he had COVID, right? He got COVID. He went out on the road, did some runs with some of our partners, ended up getting COVID, but he was beating it. He was on it, right? And so I'm out at the studio. I'm on 27th in San Pablo. I'm standing out there. I hear this horn, and I just hear, hey, man, right? And I'm like, who the fuck is that? And he in his truck, right? And he pulls around. He's like, man, I'm almost over this COVID shit. I'm feeling cool. Let's shoot this music video. Let's do this and that. I'm like, I'm getting on this airplane. I'm about to go to LA, knock out these shows, and I'll be right back. That was on a Thursday, right? The day before. This is how crazy life is, right? I'm at the Biltmore in LA, like the hotel, famous hotel. They film hella shit there. I'm getting ready for my show shit. I'm on an exercise bike, and I'll never forget this moment, man. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning, and Sake1 calls me, right? And he's like, man, I'm sorry about Steve. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, which Steve? And he's like, Steve from Zion, he just passed. You know, when people tell you some shit like that that's unbelievable, you just don't believe it, right? So I didn't believe him. I'm like, quit playing on my phone, bro. Get off my phone. I get off the phone. I call Steve 100 times. Call him 100 times, whatever. He's not answering the phone. I, pick up. I call Deuce. Deuce is not answering. Finally, Deuce calls me back. The moment I heard Deuce's voice, I knew it was true, right? And that was probably like one of the toughest deaths I ever really dealt with, man. And like, I've lost a lot of people, cousins, killed, whatever. But Steve had a connection with people where it's just like, if you were his friend, you loved the fuck out of him, bro. Right. You know what I mean? That shit had me wounded for a solid week, bro, where I couldn't even go. I got back into town, I shut it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, this shit, I ain't never, like, whoa, what the fuck? I always thought he was going to outlive me because he was the one always giving me herbs, always giving me the shut the heal, like tinctures, THC shit. Take this, man, this is good for you. He don't want to put me on the coconut water and drinking all this shit and taking care of myself and all these things. So I couldn't even fathom the fact that he passed before me or any of that. So it was just a lot. But, you know, I'm honored that I got to be his friend. I'm honored that I got to be his DJ, and whatever I can do to keep his legacy alive, I'm gonna do my best, you know, to do that.
Rest in peace to Zumbi, man. Good brother. Before we get out of here, I want to cover a couple things before we get to Hiero and before we get to this other project y'all got, right? So, in Panama. Now, the Hobo Junction Hiero thing, where did it start? How did the battle happen? And just like, you know, real quick, give us what you...
So basically, you know, in regular fashion, I think Casual and Saphir linked up, and he was like, "Oh, you ill? Come be on my record."
Right.
So Saphir came and did, I think it was all that bullshit on his record. The song was called That Bullshit. And I think Casual was supposed to return the favor and come be on Saphir's record, right? And, you know, at that time, we young. I think he blew it off. Not like, fuck this dude or anything.
Right.
Just like,
just doing young shit.
But you know, studio time is expensive then. So I think if you, and we wasn't making portrait, like, this is real studio. So I'm assuming that Saphir felt some kind of way about that. Like, nigga, I'll lace your shit, come lace mine. And I think Casual was more like, nigga, I got you signed damn near by you being on my record. Why are you tripping off, you know? So I think Saphir was just came out, I think, on Cameo to kind of dissing fools, you know what I'm saying, though? And then somebody, I think it was Mike T, was like, "Hey, Saphir on the radio dissing y'all niggas." And I was like, "What?" Ran to the radio.
Yeah.
I roll up to the radio. Saphir like, "Oh, I don't got beef with you. My beef was with Casual." And I was like, "Well, Casual at a show right now. Let's roll over there."
Right.
So they battle. I mean, you know, it's the battle thing as far as at that thing, it's written versus freestyle, right? And that's, you know what I'm saying, though? Like, we some freestyle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying,
right,
though?
Right.
And this is the homie. So I'm like, I'm not writing raps about my partner.
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah.
bootsy.
Yeah, that's hella bootsy.
So that was inconclusive. And they say, Saphir's like, well, we'll do it on the radio. Sway hyped it up, et cetera. You know, it got them some good ratings. So we show up. This thing got cameramen. This is, you know, like film camera people and shit. And they wanted to, you know, he wanted to take a picture like Foreman and Ta'ali, you know, turn it into a big thing. Because I guess this is like him almost on his David and Goliath thing. Like, you know, and then we show up, and I mean, this thing's got raps written about us and all. And then we just, like, we battled all the time. Each other.
Right.
Everybody that we went on tour with, you know what I'm saying, though? Like, that used to be extra money after the battle. Like, nigga, put some bread on it. You feel what I'm saying, though? And then Cats wasn't freestyling like how freestyle is now. Before, it used to be like, oh, that's off the top. You know, you start really rapping about it, and it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
So I think the freestyle versus written thing, for me, I was like, this hella weak. You know what I'm saying? And then I was just so angry, like, nigga, you went home and wrote raps about me? You feel what I'm saying, though? So I feel like Casual was on his square because Casual was Casual. I think I was just so angry and flabbergasted. I don't think I came off that. You know, but you know, freestyle versus written, you could say whoever won what, but nobody wins when you battling your partner on the radio. You feel what I'm saying? And then so we, from then on, wasn't fucking with each other, whereas we one of a few groups representing the different style of rap out here. And for us to be like, nah, I'm not doing no shows with dude. I don't want to do to get no bread with my keeping my name out your mouth. Like, that's a big loss culturally for the other cats coming up. That, you know, because it's like two, I guess, strong crews and not clicking. But, you know, the battle was cool. I've had better battles. You know, it's radio, so it's like you up there, you can't curse. You know what I'm saying? No, so it was cool. I think it's epic in hindsight, just that we got on the battle on the radio and was battling. But for me, it's the proverbial freestyle versus written. Now, this stuff that they're doing nowadays, I fully respect it.
Right.
They researching the dude, they mixing it up. Okay, I'm a rap about your shoe and then go back into some, you know, so they mixing it up and all that. But it's not over beats. And it's more like cap rap, right?
It's more
but
cap
but it's clever.
It's
like UFC versus boxing, right?
Right.
And I don't know which one is UFC and which is boxing. I'm just gonna say, if you all written over beats, that's really like that's the real rap thing.
Right.
So maybe that's boxing or traditional boxing.
Right.
And this is like MMA.
MMA. That's a great analogy.
But they both have their merit, and I'll never take away nothing from, you know, the Daylights and all them rappers. Them dudes do something incredible.
Yeah, they do.
I will say there's this Red Bull Battle League in Latin America. It's huge, millions and millions of followers, and these dudes really freestyle back and forth against each other, and they doing stadiums over beats. So I'm like, hold on, wait, we got a whole Latin Battle League You know what I'm saying? Know every single Spanish-speaking country, and they busting over beats. If I say something at the end of my line, you got to take that last line and then throw it back.
Oh,
like
see,
they
yeah,
really
that's hard.
freestyle. They really
That's hard.
freestyle it,
Yeah.
but they doing stadiums,
That's
millions
hard.
and millions. So I'm like, I would love to see something like that in English, because my thing is just like, hold on, we created this art form, curated this art form, and built it up, and then we've not perverted it. We took kind of a detour,
Yeah.
and then we got folks in other countries that didn't grow up on this,
Yeah.
really doing it in its original form. You feel what I'm saying?
That's fire.
Yeah, it's called Red Bull.
What you say?
Batalla.
What you say, L?
I was gonna say, who were the best 5 freestylers that you heard? Is Dale one of them? Dale, I would say, could rap forever. Dale, damn, who hella raw freestyling? I can't. I'd have to sit and think. Craig G is hella nice. Juice is hella raw. Dale, Craig G, Juice. Who freestyling? I'm just
Rapping Rhyme was nice.
Super nice.
rapping Ryan.
Fab nice.
Fab, hella raw. Who else?
One of my favorites is Champ Green too, man. Y'all, Champ
That's
Green.
my love one.
Crazy
Hella raw,
off the
hella raw.
no.
I don't never get to hear, like, it's unfortunately too,
He's
like,
at Hiero Day too.
we
He's
don't- yeah,
performing.
He's performing this year at Hiero Day, but like, it ain't hella ciphers.
It ain't hella ciphers.
Everybody got to do it for money, or they don't want to look like come off a certain way. But it's in them battle leagues, there's some raw freestylers too, because you like he killing them, and then you peep like, oh nigga, this nigga rapping off the dome.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So it's hella raw cats. I think that freestyling is definitely an important part of your game, not game plan, your quiver,
Arsenal, yeah.
your arsenal. But it's not the be all end all. When I
Stay on blue.
I'm just trying to stay racked up like you.
Put an 8 in a 1 and do magic. Tryna stretch hair on like elastic. Eco-friendly drug dealer, I don't waste no plastic. Use all 4 corners of that baggie. All I ever wanted was a bankroll. So I pull up on Champ before the bank close. Say no to stank hoes and stank clothes. No paramedic pimpin', nigga, we don't save hoes. Yeah, rest in peace to Lil'